morning. My name is Joe Bandel, and I am the last Rosicrucian. Today is a good day to do a update, a Gaia Ascension update. I haven't done one of those recently, and what's just happened, I'm going to try to explain what I sense happening. Um, Again, this is just from me. You can take it or leave it as you will. But there's been a significant shift in which I feel the core, the foundational frequency of Gaia, of our entire planet, has snapped into a new frequency, a new position. And it feels good. It feels good. That's just really snapped into place, I think, within the last month. It's been trying to get there and trying to get there, and it's been the events of the last month where it's finally happened. Now, what does that mean? Well, these energetic frequency things that happen in the astral planes, I'm going to use the term astral planes, whatever, they resist change. Things in the astral resist change. It will try to stay the way it is. And when it is forced to change, it'll snap into the new position, the new frequency, if you will, the new channel. And then from that point on, it will try to stay at that place. So this has been a major achievement, a major victory, because our physical planet has snapped into a new foundational frequency. And it's, I believe, in my heart, I believe it's permanent, and it feels like home. For the first time, I feel comfortable with on Earth. It's not like the Earth is trying to push me away. I really feel like it's trying to embrace me in nature, in a very organic process. And this is happening. This has happened on the lowest levels, the lowest frequency levels, and that's the, to me, is the big proof of that we have shifted into a new age, because the new age, the active energy, the empowerment always is at the lowest level, the shaman level, the organic earth level, the root chakra level. And it doesn't matter where all the other activity is, where if they're trying to keep things way up here in a person's head, survival issues, root chakra issues, those are the things that are going to be dominant over the next 2,000 years, because every 2,000 years a new chakra is activated. We're back down at the bottom. This thing with the coronavirus is a root chakra phenomenon. It's not going to go away. There is no solution. You're going to, as soon as we find a solution for the coronavirus, there's going to be another root chakra situation. Something else is coming up. It's never going to go back to where it's way up here in the head and things like that. We are in an organic phase. And true empowerment, if you really are trying to be empowered, you have to look at organic reality. You also, we're talking about integrated, full spectrum life. Because what I just said, while that's true, we have to integrate our intellect, we have to integrate spirituality, we have to integrate our emotional selves with that. So it's the integration of heart and mind and the physical organism itself that we're talking about, okay? These are new. This is new, and it's not going to go away. Now, with that shift in it, the energetics are going to attempt to, this is the new status quo, if you will. And it's really, really going to try to push away and reject things that are no longer in harmony with it. Okay? So that's going to fear-based things that lower a person's vibration are really going to become more violent, because what we're talking about is entraining frequency. We're talking about a main dominant frequency that is at a certain level, and anything that encounters that dominant frequency, that entrainment frequency, is going to be forced into harmony with it, and that can only happen in two ways. One way is it will speed up the vibrations so that it matches through harmonics, or it will lower the vibration so that everything will go to a lower harmonic, and it'll entrain it. And so what you're seeing, what's experiencing, is the snapping into place of this new dominant entrainment frequency, and now everything else has got to fall into place. It's going to rise or it's going to fall. If you're rising, if the vibrations are rising, you're going to experience this as a harmonious, supportive time. If you're not in harmony, if your base frequency is not in harmony with this energy, it's going to suck you down, it's going to drag you down, and things are going to be bad because you're not in harmony with the new energy. That being said, that's the big news with Gaia's Ascension, but I'm also going to just briefly mention a few things here that I think is happening around the world. I think that I've already mentioned the coronavirus is a root chakra thing, a survival thing. It's not as big of a deal, but there's a move to try to have a fear-based population, and the move is about the presidential election in November. What they're trying to do is they're trying to say it's not going to be safe to go to the polls in November and vote. Just wait. This is what the movement is. One side is going to say, okay, we have to get the economy back going. We have to get back to work. We have to start doing these things. And the polls, it will be perfectly safe to vote for the president in November. The other side is going to say, oh my God, no, this is fear-based. We can't spread this virus or whatever it is like that. We have to stay away from the polls and maybe do mail-in voting or something like that. You're already seeing part of that. That's one part. That's what I see as the big struggle right now with all these smoke and mirrors. You might not agree with that, but that's how I see it. The virus itself is not really an issue. Its mortality rate is less than the flu, and we have the medications, we have the beds, we have the doctors to deal with that at this point. So from here on out, you're talking politics on this. And this virus looks like it's going to be here 10 years from now, 20 years from now. We're just going to end up living with it anyway. Okay, as it comes around, just like we live with the flu. Because the dominant energy is root chakra level. This is a root chakra issue. It's not gonna be going away. All right, the next issue that we're dealing with here, the big struggle as I see it, is between the United States and China. One faction, again, this is politics, this is the war that's going on for the control of the world population. Okay, one group of people has determined that China, with its massive artificial intelligence, its massive surveillance programs for its population and stuff, that model is going to dominate the world. That China is the leader and the financial leader. The other is the United States, obviously, because the United States has, through this new populism and about the individual rights, the constitutional rights granted to the people of the United States. This is the war that's going on. And one side has to fall. China has to fall, or the United States has to fall. The United States came so close to falling that it is really scary to me as a patriot. Okay. But now you can see that China is being pointed at as the originator of the Wuhan virus. Okay, that globally the financial ruin that's taken place has been brought upon by China, and that China is going to have to pay for it. There's a growing mood that's anti-China here. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, and I'm going to give more evidence a little bit in that it's obvious through these stimulus packages that the individual and the small businesses, the grocery stores, the real merchants and the real people on the street are the ones that are benefiting from these stimulus packages. If you go back to the Obama administration when they had the last recession, all the money went to the central banks. It didn't go to the people. Now, the money's going to the people. There's a shift. It's a sea change. And the central banks are going down. China's going down. The central banks are going down. What's going to happen? I believe that we're going to repudiate the national debt, and we're going to have a gold-backed digital currency in which they can eliminate taxation by simply putting a small fee on each digital transaction. Well, I'm out of time, but that's my update. That's what I sense is lining up. We'll see you.